Acting in a way that protects our environment will probably make your wedding better and actually save you money. I'm going to tell you how. Ciao, I'm Lucy. I'm an Italian wedding planner and I'm the founder of Lista.com, the platform where we give you free advice on how to plan your Italian wedding. We want your planning experience to be calm and hassle-free. Okay, so here are my 8 very simple and very effective ways to make your wedding more sustainable and help protect our environment. The first thing is to use local suppliers and local seasonal produce. Using local food, for example, means that it's produced locally, it is less intense in the resources that it uses to be made, it has to travel really not far at all, and being local themselves, the suppliers will not have to travel far to your wedding. This is the same for flowers. Flowers are grown in Italy in certain types of flowers, certain amounts of flowers. If these are grown locally, they are less water intensive, they are less travel intensive, their carbon footprint is much lower. It probably also means that this produce, these food, these drinks, these flowers are actually lower in price as well because they've had less things go into them. They've had to travel less and this all costs less. The second thing is to use reusable equipment. So that's things like your mise en place, your furniture, and even some of your decorations. So florists, for example, will have loads of stock of different types of decorations that you can rent from them. Different florists charge different amounts for these. So when you're shopping for your florist, it's quite important upfront to ask if they have like a catalogue of the materials that they can offer to you and you can rent from them. You can then analyse whether it's going to actually be better to use that florist, if they're going to be affordable and within your budget. You want to also check that they have the actual materials that you need to be able to rent. And this is much more efficient and much more environmentally friendly than buying anything more yourselves, taking it over to Italy, and what you're going to do with it afterwards, leaving it there or whatever you need to do. It will create less waste and help the environment if you're able to rent these things. The third thing is your venue choice. Venues often have their own little environments in themselves, their own little ecosystems. Sometimes they grow their own food, they make their own drinks. All of these things, again, have a lower impact on the environment. They're likely to be organic as well. These venues are self-sustainable. Some of them even have their own energy powers. They use solar power or wind power to help run the location. They also have their own waste systems. They're really good on waste and they recycle lots more things. In Italy, it's actually really good how they run the bin system. They really break everything up and recycle as much as possible. So choosing the right venue might actually mean you can have a much lower footprint and imprint of your wedding. The fourth thing is to recycle properly. As I mentioned, in Italy, they're really good at recycling, breaking up all the different elements to recycle properly. You'll see all the bins in the street have all the different elements too. Help your guests understand this maybe and how important it is to follow this for you. And you could do things like not having kind of plastic water bottles at your wedding. You could provide glass water bottles for guests when they've already arrived. You could check that your venue has drinking water so you can actually refill bottles rather than just buying more and more plastic bottles. The fifth thing is, and we've all done it or we'll all do it, just don't buy shit for your wedding. Don't overbuy the tat. We all fall into the trap as we get nearer to the wedding, thinking that we need to add something else. There's something missing. There isn't something missing. You don't need some plastic shit from Amazon. Your wedding is awesome the way that it is. Don't fall into this trap. It is just going to get wasted. Your guests probably won't appreciate it. They'll leave it at the wedding. It will go in the bin, and that is just devastating. Sixth thing is carbon offset your travel. Look it up. It's not that expensive. At least do it for your own flights. You could even do it for all of your guests. At Whisker and White, my planning company, we plant trees for every single wedding that we book, and we want those trees to cover the carbon emissions of the flights that the guests are making to their wedding. This does not cost much and it genuinely has the biggest impact. And I've really looked into this. This is the best way that you can offset the imprint of your wedding and your guest travel. Do it. You'll feel so much better about your wedding. 7, minimize food waste. Italian weddings are full of food and often there's far too much of it. Just be careful when you're choosing your caterer. You don't need absolutely everything that they offer. You don't need to go with the caterer that offers the most food. Actually, if anything, paring back on the food and just having less things and doing them really well would actually be a better way to go. I see so much food go in the bin, especially food that's at the aperitif. So just think really carefully about what you're adding there, especially if they have extra costs for stations. I would absolutely just skip this completely. 8th thing is challenge your suppliers. Challenge them not to use plastic. We want no single-use bottles, no plastic forks, no plastic straws. It's really easy to make this change. Everyone should be doing it anyway. They're not, so ask them to. You can say, I want no plastic straws, I want no plastic forks at my wedding, and they will do it. This will not cost anything extra for you, and it will again massively reduce the waste that your wedding produces. Final thing, bonus thing, is rent your clothes. I know, I said it, everyone wants to buy their own wedding dress, but actually, do you need to? Do you need to buy it? Could you rent it? Or could you buy it from a charity shop? My first ever job was working for Oxfam, and I ran the 9 bridal shops that Oxfam has. I was marketing them. They get designer dresses donated, and you can use those. You can go in the shop, get the brand new dresses, try them on. They might be £5,000 in the shop. In Oxfam, they're going to be 800 quid. I got my wedding dress from there, and it was one of the best things that I ever did. It meant that I had more money to spend on other things, and I felt literally as amazing as I would have if I'd gone and got that same perfect dress from a bridal shop. I would have been a lot more broke. If that's not for you and you don't want to rent or buy your bridal dress secondhand or from a charity shop, why not think about renting some of your other outfits? You're going to need an outfit for the night before, you're going to need an outfit for your pool party. Can you get any of these secondhand, or can you rent any of these from the multitude of amazing bridal and dresswear shops that you can rent from these days? All of these things really do add up, and even just choosing 1 or 2 of them to add to your wedding plans would make such a difference to your wedding. It's really nice going into it knowing that you're not having a big impact on the environment with your wedding, and we're all protecting precious Italy, which we all absolutely adore. Thanks for watching this episode. If you've got any comments, any other ideas on how to do it, comment below and we'd love to hear them. And remember, check out lalista.com for loads more advice and our membership, the club, where I have loads more videos just like this in a lot more detail. Come and join me there. See you next time.